diplomatic row between Canada and India has further intensified. In the latest, the Indian government has suspended fresh visas for Canadian citizens until further notice. India's official visa partner, BLS International, posted on its website, citing operational reasons. That's not all. The Foreign Ministry in India has said it wants diplomatic staff parity and has sought a further reduction of Canadian diplomatic staff here in India. Following the decision on visa services, the Vancouver Police Department says that it's beefing up security outside India's consulate. The Canadian High Commission further urged the Indian consulate staff to adjust to the rising security presence as well. The spokesperson for India's External Affairs Ministry, meanwhile, Arindam Bakshi, has in a press briefing today said there's a degree of prejudice in Canada's exchanges with India, while airing that these allegations by Justin Trudeau are primarily politically driven. Listen in.
You are aware of the security threats being faced by our High Commission and consulates in Canada. This has disrupted their normal functioning. Accordingly, our High Commission and consulates are temporarily unable to process visa applications. We will be reviewing the situation on a regular basis.
India has long accused Canada of not doing enough against the Khalistani terrorists hiding in Canada. India's National Investigation Agency even launched a crackdown on the Khalistani network. It released photographs of accused individuals, some of them based in Canada. This follows a series of tit-for-tat measures. The countries earlier updated their travel advisories. New Delhi, in a strongly worded statement, urged Indians in Canada to exercise caution and avoid areas where anti-India activities are on the rise.
Any country, if you're talking about reputational issues and reputational damage, if there's any country that needs to look at this, I think it is Canada and its growing reputation as a place, as a safe haven for terrorists, for extremists and for organized crime. And I think that's a country that needs to worry about it.
It also highlighted the growing politically condoned hate crimes in Canada against Indians. This came after the Indian diplomats and Indians who oppose the anti-India agenda started receiving threats. Earlier, the countries expelled each other's diplomats. Trade talks between the two countries have also hit a pause button. The rift between the countries has started after Ottawa accused New Delhi of being involved in the murder of a Khalistani terrorist, Hardeep Singh Nijjar, in June, an accusation that New Delhi has strongly rejected. It has described the allegations as motivated and absurd.
I do think there is a degree of prejudice here, They have made the allegations, they have taken action on them. To us, it seems or it appears that these allegations by the Government of Canada are primarily politically driven.
Nijjar was shot dead by two masked assailants outside the Sikh temple he presided over in Surrey in Vancouver. Nijjar was wanted by Indian authorities for his alleged role in terrorist activities and conspiracy to commit murder. And for more on this, I'm now being joined by Principal Diplomatic Correspondent Siddhant Sibbal from New Delhi, tracking all the Foreign Ministry developments. And Siddhant, some strongly worded statements there coming once again from the Foreign Ministry here in India.
Well, the India-Canada relationship at their worst, primarily because of the comments by the Canadian Prime Minister in the Canadian Parliament. Now, we have seen both sides in the tit-for-tat move, expelling their diplomats, issuing travel advisories. And now, of course, India has sought that the diplomatic mission, the members here in Delhi, the Canadian diplomatic mission, there should be a parity with the Indian diplomats in Canada, and has sought a reduction. But overall, it is highly unlikely that there can be any improvement in the relationship, perhaps for next few years, given that the first shot has been fired by the Canadian Prime Minister. And India clearly stated out that when it comes to the issue of terrorism, extremism, that is a worry for New Delhi, and even saying that Canada is a safe haven for terrorists. That's a pretty strong statement, and we do expect, of course, things to pan out in next few days in much more intensity. Remember, the United Nations General Assembly is underway, and the Canadian Prime Minister is there, and it is expected that he's expected to make some remarks, and there will be, of course, counter remarks by New Delhi. But the message is clear from India that Canada needs to take strong action against extremism and against Khalistani separatists, or else the relationship is almost dead. But it is looking at no revival as well because of the ongoing tensions.